I'm American, you're a Tijuanan. I'm very, very much against people who break our laws.
In a world where rules are clear, some folks think they're just suggestions. Today we're meeting the wild cards, the Karens who step out of line with a flair for the dramatic. Buckle up for a saga of sheer willfulness, confrontations, and a reality check from the law. Here are the challengers of today's episode. Will they learn their lesson or double down against authority? Get ready because it's time to watch it all unfold.
I'm American, you're a Tijuanan.
Okay, imagine being an immigrant, working hard in a foreign country, hoping to create a better future for you and your family. But just because a racist Karen felt that way, you're labeled as a criminal and an illegal crook. This is the story of Gian Umana, a 74-year-old resident of Santa Barbara who has been caught countless times throwing racist comments and being a self-proclaimed custodian for US laws. It all began with this video.
Okay, you're working here, you're not based out of here, is that correct? Because I was going to say that you have
you are on private property.
That's fine. Okay. And I reported you already.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
I have the right to find out who my neighbors are because I live here. You don't.
Okay, but you don't have the permit to come into a private property.
Oh, arrest me.
Huh? Okay, I can call
I live here. I'm American. You're a Tijuanan.
Thank you for being racist. Thank you.
I am very, very much against people who break our laws.
As the video begins, we see Gian Umana making her way onto the construction site, only because she saw a Latino worker doing his job. Umana assumed in her entitlement-struck narcissistic mind that the worker is somehow guilty of a superficial crime he never even committed, that he is not a citizen of the United States. She didn't really consider the fact that the US has a large Spanish-speaking population, larger than Hispanic countries like Peru or Venezuela, and that all those people would obviously need to have jobs to earn their livelihood. The worker started capturing the whole incident the moment Gian approached him. He definitely felt something was off with her demeanor beforehand. Just the first words uttered by Umana reveal her attitude towards people who are not of her color. She said, "You're working here. You're not based out of here. Is that correct?" Luis Cervantes, the worker behind the camera, calmly responded that Umana was the one breaking the laws. She's the one entering onto someone's private property without permission. Instead of responding like a well-adjusted person, Umana made an attempt to intimidate him. She tried to scare him into saying something wrong or getting a reaction out of him, responding with, "That's fine, and I reported you already." She used one of the go-to moves of Karens like her. A lot of immigrants may get scared at threats of being deported back to their country, but admirably, Luis remains calm throughout the whole ordeal. Umana then responded with an absurd justification for her reasoning for breaking a law, saying that, "I have a right to find out who my neighbors are, because I live here and you don't." What a display of bigotry. Clearly, she believes that she's superior to Luis, and her racism just oozes out at this moment. While this may sound like a proper justification of her actions in her mind, it didn't to the thousands of people who stood against the racism casually displayed by her. Luis once again tries to reaffirm the fact that Umana is breaking the law, and could potentially be held accountable for her actions by saying, "Okay, but you don't have the right to come onto private property," to which Umana passive-aggressively replies, "Oh, arrest me." She continued with a racially charged comment saying, "I'm an American, I live here, you're a Tijuanan." It's surprising how a supposed Tijuanan knows more about the laws of the United States than Umana, who claims to be a so-called American. What's made clear throughout the entire conflict is that even though Umana seems to be the one concerned about the laws, she is unable to understand that tossing racial comments like these are a hate crime, and an offense for which she could be held accountable for. Later in the video, she says, "I am very against people who break our laws." Toward the end of the video, she even violently grabs the camera, physically assaulting Luis. What's amazingly absurd is, Umana, the entitled enforcer of the laws in the United States, committed 2 crimes in a single video within a time frame of 30 seconds. The video went viral across the internet, sparking a protest in Santa Barbara, with hundreds of people showing up across the street and outside Umana's house, sending a message that racism is something that this country won't tolerate. Take a look for yourself.
Very crazy tonight. And she was very racist towards a construction worker, and he uploaded the video yesterday, and we're here to hold her accountable for her actions.
But this wasn't the end, because just when things were dying down, another video of Gian Umana being racist towards a Latino vendor selling tacos surfaced on the internet. The video was posted by Eden Alex Enamorado, a person who posts viral videos of incidents he believes to be racially motivated, and is known for standing up for sidewalk vendors. What blew my mind while watching the video was that in that said video, Umana claims to be a police officer. The crime rates in the United States make sense now. But what absolutely doesn't make sense is how rude and mean Umana is being to every working Latino out there.
Come on.
You're illegal.
Pero why you problem?
Because you're selling food that is going to make people sick.
Pero it's your house. No.
It has nothing to do with me. It has to do with the
What
city is
happened?
arresting people doing it now, and they want you out. They don't want you here.
Yeah,
they
but
don't
why
want
you
you selling
problem?
this. Because I work for the police department. I do public relations. Take your food.
Yeah,
put
got
it
in the
on
police.
truck
Why you
and get rid of
problem?
it.
What?
Because you're a crook. You're an illegal crook.
The video begins with Umana making absurdly illogical remarks to a sidewalk vendor. You're illegal, is what she comes up with while standing up against the supposed injustice happening in our society, from which no one but only Umana can save us. Apparently, the vendor repeatedly asks what her problem is, trying to make sense out of everything that's happening. Umana once again went on to disrespect the vendor, even claiming she works in the police department when she clearly does not. You're a crook, you're an illegal crook. You know what a crook is? I thought you didn't speak English. You don't speak English because you're a liar and a crook. Honestly, it's baffling how Umana feels the need to correct every Latino about laws of the country where she clearly needs to revise the Constitution book herself. While harassing minorities might be a pastime for Umana, thousands of people who watched the video weren't there to pass the time. The outright racist remarks, physical assault, and false claims of Umana working with the police department was enough for people to stand up against the offense and demand a change. The protest led by Eden Alex Enamorado gained momentum as they marched towards the downtown police station, demanding accountability from Umana. Sergeant Ethan Ragsdale, the spokesperson of Santa Barbara Police Department, confirmed Umana didn't work for the police department and they were investigating the issue. As a result of the investigation, detectives referred the case to the Santa Barbara District Attorney's Office for their consideration of the following criminal charges against Gian Therese Umana: trespassing, battery on a person, and hate crime, said Ragsdale. Though Umana is unhappy with the judgment, in an interview with Los Angeles Times, Umana apologized for her actions and claimed that she lost her emotions when she saw the camera. According to Umana, everything began when she noticed a construction worker speeding down her residential area and parking illegally in the middle of the road. She entered the construction site where Luis worked unknowingly to report the incident to a manager. And then when someone put the camera in my face, I think that's when I lost my judgment. My judgment went very, very badly, Umana said. I'm truly sorry that this got out of hand, and I regret making statements like that, because I said them in the heat of the moment. They were not measured. And whatever I might feel, I do not have the right to take it out on anybody else. But unfortunately, I lost control. Unfortunately, even if you lose control, you cannot take it out on anybody you see fit. Umana tries to fill up her fragile ego with statements like, I'm American. But frankly, she's just a rotten excuse for an American. Thankfully, people took a stand for Luis, and Gian Umana was later arrested on the charges of trespassing onto someone's private property and making racist comments towards a Latino construction worker. Hopefully, Umana feels guilty for her actions, and we can only hope that her worldview shifts from being an absolute jerk to that of a kind and compassionate person. All in all, this story remains a stark reminder of just how harmful racism can be, and how there is still a lot of work to be done to make the world a safe and compassionate place for people of all colors. After all, for every person like this who's caught on camera, there are 100 more who remain unseen. But it also shows that hope is not lost, as after this video, the severe backlash against Umana displays just how much people are not letting such despicable acts slide. Hopefully, as time goes by, such incidents become less and less common.
How are you acting like this? We're supposed to be on the same side. Write me a speeding ticket and leave me alone.
Are you guys all just allowing this guy to act like a maniac?
Imagine this. You're in a hurry, you're late for your work, and in a rush, you accidentally go past the speed limit. But just because of this minor hiccup of going a couple miles above the speed limit, now you're being threatened with potential incarceration. This is the situation Josh Sood found himself in when he was stopped by Deputy Andy Stowers of the Santa Clarita Sheriff's Station for a supposed speeding violation. What follows is a series of heated back and forth between Andy Stowers threatening to even use force as a means to justify his stance, and Josh Sood asking questions for the legitimacy of his actions, and recording everything on camera. The deputy even tried to snatch the camera from Josh and threatened to use pepper spray on him. But the deputy wasn't the only guilty party in this whole case. The story begins on the 3rd of June 2020, when Josh Sood of California was stopped in Santa Clarita Valley area for driving a speed of 50 miles per hour, which was 5 miles above the speed limit. Even though the number isn't that substantial, it's still a violation of the law. But what is more alarming about this whole incident are the actions of Deputy Officer Stowers. It appears that instead of being understanding and patient, Stowers was unnecessarily being hostile and authoritative, thereby escalating the conflict. After the encounter, Josh posted the entire video of the incident on the internet, amassing countless eyes debating over the incident. Some argued that whatever Deputy Andy Stowers did was well within the bounds of his power. On the other hand, Josh was being extremely uncooperative and violated multiple laws, including exceeding speed limit and disobeying a sheriff's order. Others argued that Josh was calm during the whole incident and was trying to de-escalate the situation, but was unjustly pushed by Deputy Andy Stowers to follow his orders using unnecessary force and threats. Let's first take a look at the video.
So I was pulled over for speeding, and you're threatening to pepper spray me?
I'm sorry?
You pulled me over for speeding, and now you're threatening to pepper spray me. Because I'm not cooperating? You can write me a speeding ticket and then you can go on your way, but you're threatening to drag me out of my car and pepper spray me.
Now, I need
you want
to
to
remove
elaborate?
you to your car for my safety.
Why is that?
Because I don't know what's going on with you, okay?
No.
All right. Ready?
Are you ready? What's your name?
Deputy Stowers.
Stowers, perfect.
Yeah.
You're gonna be popular for this, man. Going allegedly 60 in the 55, and you're gonna pepper spray me. I was going 50, which isn't even illegal.
Okay.
And now you're pulling your pepper spray out.
Put your phone down, bro.
No. Get off me, man. You have...
Oh man, it's out.
Dude, that's the universe trying to protect both of
You
us.
are so lucky.
The video begins with Josh explaining what seemingly happened before the camera was on. Josh confirms that he was pulled over for speeding, and now the deputy is threatening to use pepper spray on him. Initially, the deputy was too stunned to speak, but he went on to justify his actions by stating that the reason he threatened Josh was for his own safety. But the situation hit its downmost point when Andy Stowers tried to snatch Josh's phone, ordering him to exit the vehicle. When Josh resisted that, Andy went on to intentionally use pepper spray on him. By chance, the pepper spray malfunctions. Only God knows what must have happened if it didn't.
No, how are you acting like this? We're supposed to be on the same side, man.
I don't know you, but I'm telling you, you are going to go to jail right now because you're not cooperating with law enforcement. As soon as my units come,
But you're
here,
pulling
we're
me over
taking you
for
out of the
going
car.
over the speed limit by what, 5 miles per hour?
Okay.
And you have a taser out.
You're going to jail now.
How is this even grounds for a
Keep your hands
taser
on the
being
steering
out?
wheel.
Why are you acting like this? You write me a speeding ticket and leave me alone.
That's not how it works, sir. Out of a vehicle on a traffic stop.
Do you
Case
have
law.
suspicion to pull
Supreme
me out of my
Court.
car?
You are acting uncooperative, and I don't know why. If you're on an influence of a
Uncooperative.
narcotic.
Jesus, dude. Why did you sign up to be a police officer if you're gonna harass people?
Hey, you got pepper spray? You got pepper spray? Mine's empty. All right, bro. You're coming out of the car right now.
Can you explain to this guy
Set
what's
your
happening?
phone down.
What, 50 miles per hour and
you're
you guys are dragging me out of my car?
Put your phone down. Put your phone down. You're coming out of the car.
Did he even tell you why he's pulling me over?
You're gonna go to jail for sure now. Okay.
Why are you pulling me out of my car? Why are
I
you
can
pulling
remove
me out?
anyone on a traffic stop that I want to. Okay. We're gonna turn this into going to jail, dude.
Are you guys all just allowing this guy to act like a maniac?
From here, the situation just escalated even more, with the sheriff pulling his taser out and claiming that Josh would be sent to jail for not cooperating with the law enforcement. For another minute, they went back and forth, with Josh constantly asking the sheriff to leave him alone. That's when we hear sirens of another police car approaching the site in the background. As soon as the car arrived on his location, Deputy Stowers asked the new officer about the availability of pepper spray in an attempt to intimidate Josh. This, however, failed, and as a result, Stowers then began using extra force to pull Josh out of the car. The officer who just arrived at the scene also tried to convince him to come out. The video abruptly ends with Josh calling the deputy a maniac. In another video posted later on his Instagram, which unfortunately got taken down, Josh explained that he eventually complied with the sheriff's orders, and the policemen forced him to enter their patrol car while they searched his vehicle. Upon finding absolutely nothing, they let Josh go with a speeding ticket. Following a few weeks after the encounter, Josh received a call from a member of the Misconduct Investigative Branch of Los Angeles County Police Department, who confirmed that no arrest warrant was issued against Josh Sood, and the speeding ticket he received was never even entered into the system. In another video, Josh explains how he had filed a formal complaint against all the deputies involved in the incident and may take further legal actions. He even claims that he got another call from Santa Clarita Sheriff's Department watchman, who stated that he has received multiple complaints about Stowers and is willing to inquire more about his conduct. Josh refused to give any information without legal counsel. All this tussle could have been avoided only if Stowers was a bit more polite and professional, or if Josh was a bit more cooperative. While resorting to the use of force might be the only reasonable action in some situations, cops still have to follow the legal limitations regarding the application of force. The 1995 case of Tennessee versus Garner held that under law of Fourth Amendment, law enforcement cannot use deadly force on a suspect until there is a genuine threat of safety or physical injury on the officer or other people involved. Previously, officers were allowed to shoot a fleeing suspect on the grounds of preventing a possible culprit from escaping away. In another significant case of Graham versus Connor of 1989, the court held that the totality of circumstances must be considered and each occurrence of excessive use of force should be evaluated on an individual basis. A careful balance between individuals' Fourth Amendment rights against the government's interest must be made considering each aspect of the situation. The court also held that the reasonableness of a particular use of force must be judged from the perspective of a reasonable officer on the scene rather than with the 2020 vision of hindsight. This case was pretty influential at the time, as it urged various departments to make policies that limit the use of excessive force. Among them, the Los Angeles Police clearly defined the laws by stating, "Department members shall use only that force which is objectively reasonable. Unreasonable force is that force that is unnecessary or excessive, given the totality of the circumstances presented to department members involved in using force. Unreasonable force is prohibited. The use of unreasonable force will subject department members to discipline and/or prosecution." While we may argue the use of pepper spray by Andy Stowers is reasonable or not, what's clear is that the sheriff had full rights to order someone to come out of their cars, and it's a serious offense and a violation of law if they refuse to. In the 1977 case of Pennsylvania versus Mims, the court held that the officers have the complete authority to order a person to come out of their car and search it for any possible weapons. Even though a balance between an individual's Fourth Amendment rights and public security interests must be made carefully, pulling someone out of the car is considered minimal violation and is therefore completely lawful. In another case of 1997, Maryland versus Jerry Lee, it was stated that officers can order any person or even passenger to remain inside a vehicle or get out of it. The officer can ask this for multiple reasons, including heavy traffic, rash driving, and even a person's criminal history. Josh should have got his facts right before engaging in an argument because he can be easily held accountable for refusing to get out of the car. He even resisted his arrest, which is another severe offense for which he could be convicted even if the original arrest was illegitimate or illegal. California Penal Code 148 states, "Every person who willfully resists, delays, or obstructs any public officer, peace officer, or an emergency medical technician in the discharge or attempt to discharge any duty of his or her office or employment, when no other punishment is prescribed, shall be punished by a fine not exceeding $1,000, or by imprisonment in a county jail not to exceed 1 year, or by both that fine and imprisonment." All in all, this case could have been easily avoided only if there was a mutual understanding and compassion between the two people. Josh's reaction to the whole situation reveals just how scared people feel due to the men in blue, as in this this case, it was also clear that the officer had a hard time controlling his emotions, which made Josh even more afraid. Pepper spray would have made the whole interaction even more difficult. A lot of people in general don't cooperate with the police because they feel like it would only lead to the situation worsening. And this distrust is a big issue, because it can prevent people from taking help when they need it most. Hopefully in the future, relations between police officers and the general public can improve, and people like Andy Stowers become less and less common. But until then, I'll be here making videos on them. That's all for this video, and I hope you have a good one. Talk to you later.
What is this? What is this?
Literally, I did nothing wrong.
Imagine losing your job over some ketchup. Well, this lady doesn't have to imagine, because that literally happened to her. And today, we're gonna be taking a deeper look at this spectacle to figure out what the hell actually happened here. Let's take a look at the video first, and then we'll break it down for you.
Mr. Ketchup? Is this? Where's your manager? Can I speak to your manager? I asked for extra ketchup, and I got what is this? What is this? This is so much ketchup. I can't eat that. Are you making fun of me because I'm on a diet? Are we going to have sugar ketchup? How do we know you're on a diet? You okay? I'm upset. Are you on drugs? How do we know you're on a diet? Because look, I just made it. Yes, I just
I'm on drugs. I do a drug. Lower your voice, okay? I'm gonna respect you. All of this wasn't necessary. Can you be your mental?
The video starts, and we can immediately see just how rude she is. One of the first things that we hear her say in the video is, "Can I speak to your manager?" Already knowing where this is going, the employees are not at all interested in dealing with her. Karen noticed this, and she realized that she was not getting the attention she wanted. She needed to step up her game if she really wanted to test everyone's patience. With that in mind, she takes the burger and just smashes it onto the counter, shouting at the top of her lungs. Apparently, she had asked for some ketchup, but the employee who made the burger gave her way too much. At this point, a few people who are walking past the camera can't help but look in her direction. And now that she's finally getting some attention, she does what any Karen does best: make it all about herself. She starts rambling that the employees are making fun of her. She also mentions that she's on a diet, so she can't eat a lot of ketchup. In response, one of the employees starts yelling about how they're supposed to know about all this stuff if she won't tell them, while Karen incoherently shouts sugar and ketchup. Thankfully, after all of this, the employees manage to get control of the situation and calm her down, which is where the video ends. The internet called the woman out for her strange choice of outfit. You can see her wearing what appears to be a ketchup-themed rodeo costume mixed with a yoga mom, complete with a full traditional Karen haircut, and a comically sized pair of sunglasses. Not to mention the other odd quirks that she displayed, like her ridiculously over-the-top theatrical hand motions, and obviously the fact that she slammed the burger onto the counter. Some people speculated that she must have been joking while she was doing all of this, but many other people were angry at her behavior. The way she treated these employees, they wanted her found and fired. From what we can understand about the story, Karen asked for some extra ketchup, and it looks like she got it. But instead of being a satisfied customer, she decided to throw a tantrum that only underlines the fact that the restaurant workers are not getting paid enough to deal with people like her. From whichever angle you look at the whole situation, she is not in the right at all. She made a demand and has the nerve to complain that it got fulfilled. Make it make sense. But even if we entertain the possibility that she was in the right, smashing a burger is absolutely no way to make your point. But maybe making a YouTube video about the whole thing can make it right? After this whole incident, she decided to release a video with her side of the story. Take a look.
So I wanted to come out and publicly let everyone know that that was me in the video. After this video was published on TikTok, it went viral and news organizations wrote about me. And I honestly have no idea. I am simply baffled that this is possible. People found out where I work and they sent the video to my employer. I was then fired from my job. That's right, I was fired, which I find to be extremely unfair because all I was doing was going to get my weekly cheat meal, and it was the McDonald's employees that did not follow the simple directions that I asked for. So I felt that I had the right to come in and let them know that my burger was not made correctly. I did nothing wrong. Literally, I did nothing wrong. So please leave me alone. This is extremely unfair of you guys to do this to me. Thank you.
She talks about how it was her in the video and that she is completely baffled that there are consequences to her actions. She said that apparently someone found out where she worked and got her fired from her job. Calls for a celebration in my book, to be honest. If anything, this video reveals just how little she thought and reflected on her actions. To her, she was doing things that every normal customer does. She even went as far to say that it was the fault of the McDonald's employees, and not her. She said that they didn't follow her instructions properly, and hence put her in that situation. Her audacious delusions really shine through when we hear her constantly repeat that she's done nothing wrong, something which she repeats multiple times throughout the entire video. And after being so rude and so troublesome to these employees, she has the nerve to say that she's the one being treated unfairly. As I said, this video really shows how she views things like this whole incident. Despite being in the wrong, she acts like she's the victim and the one who had to deal with the most problems. She completely fails to recognize the fact that it was she who made things hard for everybody else. It's people like this that really make the world a worse place to live in.
Let them know that you're stopping me. You can't stop me.
I'm concerned with
I
your
don't
Imagine being a pharmacy delivery guy, and just for the minor mistake of parking your van in front of the pharmacy, you get stalked, yelled at, and harassed by a woman. What was supposed to be a quick in and out turned into something that attracted the attention of thousands of people online. First, let's take a look at the original video posted to TikTok and Reddit.
away from my
I will.
vehicle so I can
I will.
close my door.
Except for the fact that
Miss,
you didn't...
I'm gonna call the police. You're assaulting me.
Call the...
Please get away from me. I don't want anything to do
I'm
with you.
assaulting you?
You're not letting me leave.
And this is assaulting you?
You're not letting me leave. So you're stopping me from leaving.
Call the police.
Okay, I will.
Do
Please
that.
move away from me. Please get away from me. I didn't
Call
do
the
anything
police.
to you.
I was trying to have a conversation.
I don't want to have a conversation with you. I don't know you.
understand.
You're so close to me with COVID. You don't have a mask on. It's insane. Can you please step away from me? Get away from me.
So you're trying to tell me
I'm
that
just trying to tell you I'm
recording me.
trying to close my door.
And I was trying to
and
tell
you're
you. You're pulling my. You're hitting me.
Because you're stopping me.
Yes, because I need you to hear.
Please back away from me.
I need you to
This
hear
is
some
insane.
words.
This is insane.
I will back up here, but you need to listen
Miss,
to me. Sit
you're
down.
not.
If you're that
Can
concerned,
you, Miss, I'm
Can-
concerned about you
Can you don't-
stopping me from leaving. That's what I'm concerned with.
concerned about
I'm
you
gonna go into the
parking.
store
Please do.
and let them know that you're stopping
concerned.
me. You can't stop
I'm
me.
concerned with
I
you
don't give a
parking.
fuck. You're gonna get charged with assault.
Just from the video itself, it's pretty apparent that this is your traditional Karen. Without even knowing what's going on, she decides to take matters into her own hands. When the video starts, we see the person behind the camera asking Karen to move away from the door. He adds that he'll call the police and tell them that she's assaulting him. Instead of backing off like any normal person would, however, Karen instead laughs. A few moments later, she says in a serious voice that he can call the police, probably expecting that they would be on her side. She's later going to regret saying that, as we'll see, but honestly with that haircut I wouldn't be surprised if her name was actually Karen. They continue to go back and forth for a few moments, with the man pointing out that she's not even wearing a mask. And a couple seconds later, we see Karen show her true colors. Take a look at this.
Tell you I'm trying to close my door.
And I was trying to tell you.
Look at how gently that door is being closed. Anyone can see that there is very little pressure behind that door. And now, look at how Karen reacted to that door push.
Stop.
You're pulling my. You're hitting me.
Because you're stopping.
If you haven't realized till now, this Karen just doesn't have any common sense. And actually, it's not just common sense this lady lacks. She had one chance to play the victim, and you best believe she took it. By this point, the man is understandably frustrated with her actions, but Karen does not back down, and instead pushes herself against the door, trying to block him from closing the door whilst also making it appear as if she's not doing anything and it's all his fault. Finally, Karen makes the mistake of knocking the phone out of his hands. We see the phone spin and fall to the ground while also hearing the man say that she is going to get charged with assault. This is where the original video ended, but not the story. Later on, the man who filmed the video released an update on the whole situation. Take a look.
So that day, I pulled up to the pharmacy, nothing out of the ordinary. She was actually pulling up as well. When I parked, I could hear her yelling once I got out of my car. She was saying, like, you can't park there, you can't park there. And I was just ignoring it. You know, in this line of work, people comment more than you think on your parking or whatever. And you just want to be polite. You know, I don't want to start anything or anything like that. So I just try to keep it moving. As I'm walking away, I can then hear her kind of speed up her walk behind me. She's wearing heels, so it's very distinctive, the tap. And so I turn around fairly quickly, and I'm greeted with another, you can't park there, like, that's not allowed. And I'm so naive at this point, I just let her know, like, hey, I do the deliveries for the pharmacy here. I'm going to be in and out. The pharmacy's asked me to park here. But if you want to call bylaw or try and get me a ticket, like, go for it. But again, I'm going to be in and out before you even get connected to someone. So really, there's no problem. So she didn't like that. She waits for me. So she comes into the pharmacy with me, watches me get my deliveries. As I grab them from the pharmacist, she's now hot on my heels. I'm walking up the aisle, and I can hear her heels behind me. Tap, 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 tap. I made the assessment that, you know, okay, I need to get back to my car, obviously. So I give a few more minutes, walk outside, and the moment that I kind of cross the threshold through the door of the pharmacy, she's like getting out of her driver's side door to come and confront me. And so the only thing I can think at this point is, you know, I need to secure the medication. So I quickly get to my car, I open the driver's side door, and I put the medication in my passenger seat. And that's basically when I turned around to her.
So he basically explained the whole premise. The man in the video is a person who picks up medicine from pharmacies and then delivers it to people. To do his job properly and quickly, he's permitted by the pharmacy to park in the disabled parking spot when he has to make his stops. However, on this day, Karen was parking around the same time that he was, and saw him parking on the disabled spot. She immediately jumped to the conclusion that the man was breaking the law and decided that she was going to be the one to save the day. This meant that she followed him for the whole duration of his pickup, starting from when he got out of the car and explained his situation to her, to when he picked up the medicine, to him getting back to the car. Like he said himself, if she wants to try and get him a ticket, she can, but he would be in and out before she got connected with anyone. But unfortunately for him, Karen did not seem to understand the concept and just kept stalking him. Eventually, it led to the original video that we saw, but even now, some questions remain unanswered, like what happened to the Karen after this incident. For that, our main character released another video explaining everything.
After I'd got that interaction, I was like, okay, I gotta call the police. So, please show up. They charge her, they watch the video that I've posted for you guys, and, you know, obviously they ask, what do you want to do? She's begging and pleading and crying, saying, oh, I'll pay for the damage that I caused, all that stuff. And I knew that if I just took her money, this would be like a thing where she goes home tonight, cracks a bottle of wine, and tells it jokingly with her husband on the couch, and I don't think that's okay. I knew that I needed to go to court. I knew that I needed to teach this person a lesson, and you know, we'll get our date in court and we'll go from there. Number two, everyone in the comments is like, dude, this guy's parked in a handicap, blah, blah, blah. I'm not parked in a handicap. Not at all. But that being said, if bylaw had come into that parking lot and decided to give me a ticket, I would get a ticket. I shouldn't be parked there by the bylaw standards. Just because the pharmacy gives me permission doesn't mean that I'm exempt from the law. So yeah, I'm not in the right either, but I'm certainly not in the wrong as much as she is. I didn't even interact with her.
So he explains that after the video ended, he called the police. When they showed up, the man showed them the recording he had captured of the Karen that he saw in the first clip. The police eventually sided with the man and told Karen that she was way out of her bounds. He also said that even though Karen had offered to pay for the damage to his phone, he decided that this was not enough. He didn't want to let her off the hook that easily, just for her to continue her mundane routine and make someone else's day miserable. He said that he would take Karen to court, but as of now, there's really no update as to how that played out. Although what he said at the end really sums it up perfectly. It can be argued that the man was not completely in the right, considering that he had parked at a place where he should not have been. But that doesn't give Karen the right to harass and assault him. Hopefully one day people will understand basic human decency enough that incidents like these become a rare occurrence. But until then, I'll be here making videos on the most audacious Karen stories on the internet. That's all for this video, and I hope you had a good one.
We'll talk about everything, but get out of the car. Yep.
Get your fucking hands off me!
Cool out. Hey, if you keep, can you hop out of the car now?
I don't know. You want to drag me out?
No,
I
I
know
prefer
you,
not to.
No, I know you enjoy that.
Usually, most Karen videos are about everyday people being forced to deal with Karens who insert themselves into situations that have, frankly, nothing to do with them, and make life difficult for everybody. But this incident is much, much worse than most Karen videos. Imagine being an officer who had just gotten a call that a warrant had been issued. It's a domestic violence allegation, where a 45-year-old woman by the name of Sean Malarkey hit her ex-husband with a car. As any good officer of the law, he decided to rush to the scene as quickly as possible. After all, it was just one old woman that he had to bring to the station. How hard could it be? But unfortunately for the officer, she was in no mood to cooperate and things quickly spiraled out into chaos. Let's first get into the footage.
Hey, step out of the car right now. Get out of the car. Ma'am, we'll talk about everything, but get out of the car. Yep. 20 expedite, we're in the garage, just closing. Ma'am, step out.
Excuse me.
Step out.
No, excuse me.
Step
Get
out.
your hands off of me.
Step out of the car right now. Yes.
No.
Step out of the car.
Get your hands off
Get
of
out
me.
of the car.
No.
You're under arrest.
No, I am not.
Yes, you are.
No, I am not.
Yes, you are.
Get your hands
Open this
off.
garage door.
Excuse me.
Let go.
No, you get your hands off of me. No.
Get out of the car now.
No.
I will tase you if you don't get out of the car.
You better take your hands off of me right now. Get your hands off of me.
Stop. I told you you're under arrest. Get out of the car.
Why?
Because you have a warrant and you're wanted for
No.
domestic battery. Yes, you are.
Excuse me. I just sent a message and I am... Excuse me. Excuse me.
Get out of the car right now.
No.
I told you I can handle this peacefully, but you have to get out of the car.
No, you never said that. I sent you a message. My attorney...
Affirmative. I have one cuff on.
You... Excuse me. Did somebody say that you could come into our house? You don't stop tugging on
I'm
me.
gonna tase you if you don't get opener.
No.
Yes.
No.
You're obstructing right now. Do you
No,
understand
you're
that?
obstructing.
I'm not gonna tell you again.
No, I'm not going to tell you again.
Get out of the car right.
Stop kicking. You
All right, 20
don't
minutes.
understand.
One female, 1095.
You did this.
No, I didn't do anything. No, I didn't.
Andy asked you to come out.
Excuse me?
Andy asked you to get out of the car.
No, Andy yanked me.
I yanked you because I told you you're under arrest and you refused to exit your vehicle. Yes.
Are you going to step up and be cooperative?
No, my attorney is...
Are you going to stand up and be cooperative?
Are you going to understand that my attorney has filed a motion to quash this?
All right, you just stand your knee.
My attorney has filed a motion to quash this. Has filed
We're
a
going out here,
motion
this way.
to quash this.
You hit us, you do anything stupid towards us, and we're any charges on. If you hit us or anything, let's go.
You've already hit me.
I didn't hit you. I asked you out of the car. I told you you're under arrest. Now you got a whole show for your neighbors here.
You are a dick.
There is a lot of stuff to unpack here. The video starts simply with the cop arriving on the scene and calmly telling Malarkey to get out of the car. He even tells her that they will talk about everything calmly as long as she complies with his demands. But instead of complying, she decided that closing the garage door was the best option, even telling the officer that she's supposedly not under arrest. At this point, we should mention that the officer is authorized to use force, since she is not complying with him. I mean, there's literally a warrant for her arrest. The officer is free to use whatever means necessary to bring her to the station. The only thing that can go against a cop is if he uses more force than necessary. But in this case, the cop only tugs at Malarkey's arm, which is nowhere close to unnecessary force. And by the end of the video, this will definitely come into play. Coming back to the footage at hand, the cop explains to her that she is wanted for domestic battery, but she wouldn't be a Karen if she didn't lack common sense. From this point forward, we see Malarkey move from point to point trying to defend herself. First, she says that she has supposedly sent a message through her attorney and hence they cannot arrest her. Then she tries telling the police officer that he can't come into her house. And then she even has the audacity to say that the officer is obstructing the course of justice. Needless to say, she is not the sharpest tool in the shed. At this point, another officer arrives on the scene and assists the first officer in pulling Malarkey out of the car. Unfortunately, the audio during this struggle was cut, but when the audio comes back, we can clearly hear the second officer tell Malarkey that it was her fault they had to resort to this. But even then, she keeps talking back to the officers and yelling about how
Attorney has filed a motion to quash this.
Let's continue the clip.
You are a dick. My children don't have anybody at home right now. You're going to put my kids alone in danger? I need to call my attorney. I'm not getting in that car until I call my attorney. I'm calling my attorney.
It's not going to happen.
No, I'm calling my attorney.
When the time comes, you call your
right now. I'm calling my attorney. No, I'm calling my attorney.
Sit in the car.
My children are home alone.
I'm giving you an order.
Sit in the car.
We will
My
get your
children
father here.
are home alone. My children are home alone.
We will take care of your children.
No, you're not taking care of shit.
I'm gonna get
The way that you take care of somebody is throwing them down on the ground.
Nobody
You
threw
are
your
a
children on the ground.
You are a shitty fucking human being.
That's messed up.
You throw somebody down in front of their children? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Sit down! I told you to sit down.
Fuck you! You piece of shit! You know what? You are the piece of dirt that I wouldn't piss on if you were on fire.
I smell an odor of alcohol on your breath.
No, that's my piss.
That's your piss?
I'm pissing on you.
Okay.
Guess what?
What?
You're the worst part of the society. You think?
I don't think so.
Oh, no, I know it.
I don't think so.
I fucking know it. You are the worst. You take down a mother in front of her fucking children, but you are somehow fucking
I think he asked you pretty politely to get out.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Were you there?
Sounds like you were fleeing, right?
Were you there?
All right, we're good.
Were you there?
You saw my emergency lights before you even got in the alley.
Were you there? Were you there?
Bend your legs.
No, were you there?
Bend your legs. Don't continue
Were you there? Were you there? Were
I
you
saw
there?
what I saw when I walked in.
Yeah.
You're not getting out.
Honestly, I feel extremely bad for the officers who are being forced to put up with her. Just from the video alone, it's clear that she has no idea just how much trouble she's in. And instead of complying with the people in charge, she's causing havoc for the officers. As if that'll help her case at all. Around the 4-minute mark, the second officer on duty realizes that 2 people are not enough and decides that he's gonna call for another officer. Everything you've seen up to this moment is already making it very difficult to feel any compassion for Karen. But this is just the start, and things get much, much worse from here on out. The only silver lining about all of this is how satisfying the door closes on her face. But okay, let's go back to the footage.
She cooperated the same bottle, same odor of alcohol. Okay. Hey, I didn't tell you to get out of the car. Stop. Do you have your phone on you?
Don't touch me.
Do you have your phone on you?
Get your fucking hands off me.
Where's your phone?
Do not.
Where's your phone at?
Get your. Do not touch me.
Okay.
Did I ever say?
Turn around.
You fucker, do not touch me. Get his fucking hands off me. Get your fucking hands off me.
Cool out. Hey, if you keep resisting,
Get your
I'm gonna charge you with that. If you
know what? I'm gonna charge you with putting your fucking dirty ass hands on me.
Stop moving. Let him take off your watch.
You. You don't get to touch me. You are a disgusting piece of shit. The next time you fucking touch me.
Hey, get in the car.
Sit in the car.
No, he doesn't get to touch me.
Okay, sit in the car.
Follow. Use the words of what these are hands.
Hey, get in the car. If you don't, you're gonna get charged with obstructing.
If
Get in the car.
he fucking touches me again.
Get in the car, Sean.
Get your fucking hands off
Sean,
me.
he's not even touching you. Get in the car.
Oh, but he
I'm not
did.
touching you.
No, he's touched me.
Get in the car,
He's
Sean.
touched me way more times than appropriate.
Sean, get in the car.
No, do you know what he's done? If you
Stop kicking us.
I'm gonna kick you right in the fucking face.
That's mean. Don't do that.
Motherfucker.
Hey, pull the hobble strap out the door.
That motherfucker has touched me more times than appropriate. Do you understand?
Everyone.
Do you understand how many times he's touched me?
Okay, so by now, a third officer has reached the scene. None of them had thought that they would be getting cursed at by a woman almost a decade older than them. Yet, here they are. But things are even worse than they appear. In case you missed it, take a look at the video again. She tried to bite the officer. Just to give you some context here, this can be seen as an attempted assault on an officer, and you can be sure that it comes up later in this case. What's even more shocking is that she just doesn't back down. By the end of it, the officers have to force her inside and lock her in. I think it's fair to say that this is just one of the worst breeds of Karen. Not only does she not take responsibility for what she's done, but she keeps committing more crimes on top of it. But things are not over just yet.
Alright, we have a couple of charges of our own too, so it's gonna be a lot.
Then what?
Yeah.
We could just do what he says.
Oh, no.
Listen to what he says verbally.
I'm coming for him.
Okay.
My attorney is filing charges against you, motherfucker.
Let's take her out of here.
You are
Let's go quick. I'll meet you guys at PD.
Okay.
Dirtbag that I've ever witnessed in my entire fucking life.
Do you need anything in regards to your house?
I am suing you.
Do you need anything?
Galley. You are dead.
What's that?
You are getting sued.
No, what'd you say before that? You said I am dead? What do you mean by that?
You are
Elaborate on it if you mean it.
you're getting sued. You have touched me more
Do Agasol too, she tried to bite me.
way more times. You think you're cool? You can beat up a girl? Good for you. Good for
Henry,
you.
20, I'm transporting one female back to the station. Copy starting.
Good for you. You're stronger than girl. Wow.
97197, 97197.
Okay. I can start just reading what he was.
Sean, step out.
Where's my watch?
I have your watch.
Oh, is it accounted for?
What's up?
I didn't get any paperwork accounting for it.
We drove 4 blocks. He has custody of your watch in the booking room.
And guess what?
Just so you know, with body camera, your watch is right here, okay?
Guess what?
How about Sean?
I don't take anything for granted.
That's great. Can you hop out of the car now?
I don't know. You want to drag me out?
No,
I
I prefer not to.
No, I know you enjoy that.
That's your opinion. Can you
No,
get out now?
No, it's what I experienced. Thank you.
Are you going to willingly exit this car or no?
I don't think I can because my feet are tied together and my hands. So I don't think that I can
I'll
willingly.
help you out then. I'll help you out, Sean. Come on.
Dick,
Let's go.
that guy.
Hey, why are your... Hey, put your feet back on the other side. No. Here, put your feet down. Put your feet down. No. Put your feet down there.
It hurts too much. You could just take it off.
Okay, no. We're not...
No, you're gonna kick it.
No, what am I? I'm a fucking 100 pounds. You think I'm gonna take a 200-pound dude?
Well, you've already kicked at us a lot of times.
Why?
You're not gonna win.
Why?
You're gonna hurt us.
Why? Because that guy right there.
The one you tried to bite?
Okay, Sean, let's go.
Why? Could you ask yourself a question?
Sean, put your legs
Why?
down like this.
Why? Because that guy beat me up and drug me out of my car in front of my fucking kids. Because that guy is a dick.
Let's go.
That's why.
We're going.
You don't have any sort of consciousness or awareness as to
Hey,
why.
stand up, Sean. You can.
No, I can't.
You were standing outside of the car earlier, weren't you? Now stand up.
How can I stand up?
Then you need a security one, right?
You're gonna be a dick too.
Well, you're not being nice to me since
You're not being nice to me. You never have.
All right, then we're gonna have to.
Do you know how many fucking times I've served you guys food I sat out there and served you guys hot dogs.
I wish you would just be nice to us instead of
I
serving
wish
us
you would be
food.
fucking nice to me. Are you fucking kidding me? You're making my wrists.
Well, it's following simple orders, Sean.
Yeah, politely, like an adult.
I didn't.
Thankfully, it goes mostly smoothly from here on out. She still didn't change her behavior at all and repeatedly called the first officer a dick, but with what we've seen her do before, it can be considered quite tame in comparison. The officers managed to get her into the police station and none of them received any injuries. With a Karen like her, even that seems like a win. Eventually, justice was served, and the hard work of the officers paid off. Malarkey was given a list of charges for all the crimes she committed. Just to give you an idea, her charges included an aggravated DUI, or driving under influence. This was her third such charge, meaning that she had been given a DUI twice before. It's important because the repeated offense means that she was given a stricter punishment this time around. In addition to this aggravated DUI charge, she's accused of aggravated assault on an officer, which is a serious offense that involves threatening or engaging in a violent behavior towards a law enforcement official. This is where her attempts to bite the officer and all her kicking and screaming come into play. The footage we see is available to everyone, which means that she really has no way to defend herself from the charge. But her charges don't end there. She's also charged with resisting an officer. As the officer in the video mentioned, this essentially means that she was not cooperating with the officers and refusing to listen to them. Really, anyone who's watched this footage will agree with the judge on this one. And lastly, she also had the charge of transportation of open alcohol. But even this is not the end, since the felony charge for which she was originally arrested for still remains unresolved. Once the trial for that occurs, she'll be given even more punishments. All these charges means that she really got what she deserves. Those officers had to spend hours trying their best to defuse the situation and calm her down, but she only responded with spite. The truth came to light with the body cam footage of the first officer, and it's there for the whole world to see. Justice was served. Hopefully, as time goes by, people will understand that honest and law-abiding police officers just want to maintain law and order. Maybe one day, people will peacefully comply with the officers on the scene, instead of being like this Hinsdale Karen. But until that day, I'll be making videos on the most absurd and mind-boggling Karens out there. That's all for this video, and I hope you have a good one. Okay, do you remember this?
Oh god, no, excuse.
Or this? Or this? If you've been online at all in the past 2 years, then you're sure to know about Victoria's Secret Karen. The original video about her took the world by storm and got over 2.6 million views. Abigail Elphick, the real identity of the Victoria's Secret Karen, might be better known today than many celebrities. But now as court proceedings take place, we find more and more information come to light and a message that maybe we shouldn't trust everything we see on the internet. As Tracy Tully, writer for the New York Times, writes, it began with a COVID-era tussle at a New Jersey shopping mall, known for its high-end stores. And really, the start of this whole episode was with two women motivated by fear. One woman was afraid that she'll be persecuted for having dark skin. The other woman was afraid that she'd lose her job and apartment for her ex. But in case you haven't read up about this incident, let me give you a little refresher. Two shoppers, Ijima Ukenta and Abigail Elphick, were shopping at the same store, a certain Victoria's Secret. While Ukenta was shopping, she felt that Elphick was standing too close and asked her to politely move 6 feet away. That way, they could maintain the COVID prevention guidelines, and Ukenta would feel more comfortable and safe. Agitated, Elphick complained to a cashier, feeling like Ukenta was making a big deal out of nothing. The cashier didn't do anything though, and so both women were left staring daggers at each other. Expecting trouble, Ukenta got her phone out, and just in time too, because all of a sudden, Elphick tried to hit her. The very first shot we see from the camera is Elphick moving towards Ukenta, her hand in the air well positioned to attack Ukenta. The camera gets jostled around, and to Elphick's dismay, she becomes painfully aware that she's now being recorded. The color almost drains away from her face, and we can see her getting visibly stressed. This stress eventually turns into what will later be described as a full-blown panic attack, or perhaps just a tantrum, as deemed by thousands of users on the internet who are able to see behind Elphick's facade. The video continues with a narration of events by Ukenta, accusing Elphick of attempting to hit her, and this is exactly where we can spot the differences in their perceptions and stories that come to the fore. We can see Ukenta start a commentary of sorts, mentioning how it didn't even feel real, and how she didn't expect anything like this to happen to her. On the other hand, hand, Alfie got down to the ground, teary-eyed with her head in her hands, eventually crying hysterically. Throughout the recording, we can see her shouting stuff like how she wasn't attacking Yukenta, and begging Yukenta to stop recording. A few people would look at the scene playing out from the background, but no one would come to interfere, not for a while at least. Others would go about their business, paying no attention to the whole thing, but it seemed as though even the employees and security didn't want to get into this whole debacle, something which will definitely come into play later.
Oh God, no, excuse, now you are, oh my God! Oh my God! Do you see this? Oh my God, I never thought nothing like this would happen to me. She just tried to run and hit me. And now she, did you see her? You saw her, right? They all saw her. Oh my God. Karen had a breakdown. She tried to hit me. Ask your workers. She tried to hit me. She tried to hit me. Now I want security for you. Oh my God. Oh my God. You should have thought about that before you did what you did. Oh my God. This shit don't even feel real. This do not feel real.
You can just go around here. I didn't try to hit you. Please don't record me. Don't record me.
Y'all had to get security. She charged me. If I wouldn't have ducked, she would. Oh no, you just wanted security for me, right? I want security for you now. No, don't cry. No. I want you to call security. Thank you. I just came to get my free panty. You know how you get the coupon in the mail? And I got to pick up my Converse boots from Nordstrom's. I don't know why this is happening to me. Don't charge me. Oh, you want to? Oh, yeah, she. I'm scared to even approach her.
Please.
You scaring me. Like you gonna go postal.
Don't record.
No, why don't she walk away from me? No, I was here. No. We're not doing this. Why don't I walk away from her? Why don't she get away from me? She could get away. Go wherever you want to go. This is crazy. Oh. I'm sorry. I don't mean to that. Ooh, Lord.
She went to go call security.
Yeah, because...
Did you have 2 yoga mats?
No, I had one. We was trying to just find a price check for one of them. Just one I had. Okay, I'm going to leave her here, Pest. Actually, I have a coupon for the free panty, and it says everyone is excluded except for the period panty, but I actually want to see what that was.
I can show you.
Okay. Hi, Karen. You keep lying saying I'm threatening you, so I'm recording to protect myself.
Can you please stop recording?
Yeah. This crazy lady. Okay, she attacked me and try to say I attacked her. You look at this.
Get away from me!
Oh, y'all better get this lady!
Get away from me!
You look at this! Get security!
Get the fucker!
Security! Look at this! Yes, can y'all get
her away from me! Get her away from me!
Lord have mercy!
Get her away from me! Get her away from me!
No, I gotta just protect myself. She's trying to attack me. No. See, and she's saying I'm threatening her. I'm not saying nothing to her. It's to protect me. Once the law get here, who they gonna believe? Her white ass or my black ass?
Get her away from me, please! Stop her recording from me!
Where is security? In this short hills, y'all. Oh my God, in this short hills.
Get her away!
I gotta stop coming here. I thought this was the safe mall.
She's recording me. This person's threatening me. She's recording me. She has poor purple hair. Put the phone down.
She's lying on the phone. Don't tell me what to do. She said I threatened her. Well, I don't give a fuck about her being sick. I'm worried about me. You hear this? Yo, y'all can't do y'all hear this? This stuff y'all read about. This is real. This is really happening to me. She's on the phone with the police on me, and she's chasing me around the damn store. She's chasing me around the damn store. And I'm supposed to...
She's recording me. She's taping me and she's threatening me. She recorded my mental breakdowns and she's laughing. Get her, come over here, please. Ah, my heart's racing.
I just came to get a free panty. I just came to get a... Hey, assalamu alaikum. I just came to get a free panty. That's all. That's all. And spend my little 50 and get the $10 off. See what free panties will get you? This lady that chased me. She calling the police on me now. And I can't believe this long and security not here. You hear? Get the cops here. This how black people be done. You see this? See what these people do? They call in a panic and tell police that you doing something to them when you clearly saw her chase me around the store. She telling them, get here, I'm helping, my heart's racing. Look. Oh, see, did you see that? Is that security? Oh. I don't want to turn my back on her. I want to pay all my stuff, but I'm not turning my back on this white lady. I'm sorry, she is crazy. This lady tried to attack me. She chased me around this store, everything. I was over here looking at the, you can ask the workers, I was over here looking at the sale items. Right. So she came back and she put a, she came back and she put an item back in front of me, so. Okay. After she put the item back in front of me, she begins skimming through the clothes, like right in my face. I said, excuse me. Then she just completely went over to them, asked them to call security, went off, she dropped on the floor, she screamed, she chased me. As a matter of fact, where is she?
Well, I don't know exactly right now who you're referring to.
Here we go.
Is everything okay?
No, I feel in danger. No, everything's not okay. Ask them. She chased me. Excuse me, ma'am. You're the manager, right? Could you come over here and tell him what this lady did? She chased me around the... So I was attacked in the mall, almost attacked in the mall. The manager, I had to run behind her. I chased him around. He telling me he can escort me to my car, but she's not. She doesn't have to leave the mall. Listen, I'm not finished shopping. I have 2 other stores to go to.
Here's what I'm saying. I don't work for the mall. I can't order her out of the mall.
Yeah, but you work for Milburn. I was just almost assaulted in this mall.
I can't. The mall security can ask. What I'm saying is, I'm not telling you have to leave or anything. But
I'm not saying that, but
if for some reason,
if the shoe was on the other foot, and I would have tried to attack her white ass, you would have me escorted out this mall.
Ma'am.
That's just how I feel. This woman, mind you, the manager didn't told him. The manager told me he chased, huh?
I wish you didn't feel that way.
I do feel that way. I do feel that way. I was just almost attacked and assaulted, and you telling me 3 times, and he can't get out. You hear this?
If you have any concerns,
well, I'm going to this lady. This the lady they won't kick out the mall. I'm a dog. I want to see if she act up in front of y'all, what y'all would do.
worker. I think that the best description of this whole event would be painfully prolonged. The whole video easily runs over 15 minutes. Elphick with her tears and Ukenta with her camera, and then, amidst the chaos, Elphick passes out. This was hands down one of the best pass-outs I've seen in the history of cinema. This pass-out was blatantly fake. Later in the video, Elphick chases Ukenta, who continues to record everything. Elphick calls the police. Ukenta calls security and attempts to explain. It just keeps going and going, seemingly with no point. But, I mean, this is an incident that is now a few years old, and yet, there's still articles being written about it. That tells you just how deep-rooted this whole debacle was, and how the effects can still be seen today. For Ijima Ukenta and Abigail Elphick, this incident didn't just end in July of 2021, but has stretched onto their lives today. So, where are things heading right now? And why are the major newspapers like the New York Times still covering this old story? As I mentioned before, this video got 2.6 million views, and that's just the original views it got on YouTube. It was shared among friends, featured heavily by online communities like Reddit groups and Discord servers, and word of mouth played a big role in its spread. Multiple newspapers covered this story, including newspapers like UK's The Sun, and the reception to this on YouTube wasn't lackluster in the slightest. Just searching up Victoria's Secret Karen gives you just so many videos, many of which have over 100,000 views. This video has definitely sparked the interest of loads of people. If we go down the question of why that happened, I think it has a lot to do with how so many people could relate to Ukenta and her situation. Being discriminated against just because of the color of your skin is never going to be something you just shrug off. So posting all these videos on the channel helped Ukenta not only get proof, but might have also helped her blow off some steam, since she got to share this incident with a global community. And since this was the COVID era, many people were still glued to their screens, leading to an increased focus on online videos. This, combined with the fact that the word Karen was being used often throughout the year already, meant that this video was just primed to blow up. And blow up it did, since if we take a look at the Google Trends graph of this year, in July when this whole incident happened, the word Karen reached the highest possible point on the chart. Ukenta and Elphick were being watched now. Two women being watched by the world for how they would react in this situation. And since it was Ukenta who started us down this path, let's take a look at her side of the story. Ijoma Ukenta, a Nigerian African immigrant who moved to the USA in 2007. Ukenta was heading towards Victoria's Secret at Short Hills Mall in New Jersey to buy a free pair of underwear with her coupon, but she mustn't have foreseen what was about to unfold that day. In July of 2021, her life would change forever. As Ukenta was minding her own business, surfing through Victoria's Secret, she noticed a white woman, Abigail Elphick, standing really close to her. In response, she politely asked the woman to maintain some distance, but what could have been a simple exchange of words quickly turned into a huge tussle, ending with police arriving on the scene. Things took a turn for the worse when Abigail began confronting her physically. With COVID on the rise, it was a time of mass hysteria and panic. Adding to the paranoia was the fact that Ukenta was a black woman. In that particular situation, the perfect defense she could think of was pulling out her phone and recording everything, fearing no one would trust her without evidence. One thing led to another as Elphick began panicking, shouting and crying while Ukenta recorded everything, trying to collect as much evidence as she could. The altercation at Victoria's Secret, which could have been de-escalated promptly by mall security or store employees, instead, it became an event that millions witnessed online. This event was just one instance of many when people feel a lack of protection from authority figures, leading to a sentiment that certain individuals are given the benefit of the doubt while others are not. The mall security was a particular point of contention. Their apparent lack of urgency to intervene was severely criticized, especially in a situation where one party was clearly distressed. The fact that Ukenta felt the need to record the situation for her own safety and proof, even while inside a prominent store with security personnel nearby, underscores a deep-seated concern that, without evidence, her side of the story might not be believed. A lot of the recording took place right near the billing counter, which meant that store employees were given a front row seat to the fiasco, but instead of calling for security or providing help in any manner, they just let it happen, all the while being aware of the fact that Elphick tried to physically attack Ukenta a while back. The sheer lack of responsibility displayed by the security is disappointing to say the least, because this could have quickly turned really bad. Ukenta, being exhausted from her ordeal, wanted justice. Justice not just for the stress she had to face because of Elphick, but also for the slow and negligent response of the mall security. Ukenta's decision to seek legal counsel dismissal was a move to ensure justice, highlighting the trauma and potential danger she faced. The incident might have occurred in a public space and lasted a few minutes, but its repercussions could be long-lasting, both psychologically and in terms of safety concerns. Pursuing charges became more than just a personal quest for justice for Ukenta. It was about holding individuals accountable for their actions, especially in situations of racial bias or aggression. The viral nature of the video brought an extra layer of scrutiny to the legal process, with many watching closely to see if the justice would be served fairly. For the justice system, this became a high-profile case that touched upon issues of racial bias, public safety, and the response of individuals in shared spaces. While legal proceedings can be notoriously lengthy and convoluted, the public attention ensured that there would be consistent pressure for a swift and fair resolution. So she set up a GoFundMe, detailing her intentions to hire an attorney and take Elphick to court. Due to the enormous crowd witnessing the injustice Ukenta faced, they were willing to donate. As a result, Ukenta raised $104,000, and 2 years later, Ukenta and Elphick both filed lawsuits against each other. From Victoria's Secret security refusing to be of any help, to police being dismissive of the incident altogether, both pushed Ukenta to take steps to ensure justice was served right. As explained by our GoFundMe description, I was treated like it was 1920 in Short Hills Mall. I was assaulted and harassed by a white woman, and nothing was done by the security nor the police. But what I'm also very curious about is the reason for this intense reaction by Elphick on something so petty. Let's look at her side of the story and figure out what's actually happening behind the screens. Abigail Elphick is a white woman who lives in Cedar Grove, New Jersey. She went to the Victoria's Secret store to buy some perfume when she got caught up in a tussle with Ukenta as she allegedly tried to hit her, eventually having a panic attack. Initially, in the police report, Elphick stated that she was aware that what she did was wrong, but experienced a panic attack as Ukenta began recording in fear of losing her job and apartment. 2 years later, however, legal filings show that Abigail Elphick was in fact disabled, with a long history of medical and psychological conditions. Elphick claimed that her actions were a result of her mental breakdown and mental conditions, instead of being racially motivated, as she lived in the residence for people with developmental and intellectual disabilities. She feared she would lose her apartment if Ukenta kept on recording, and the video was posted online. Her fear became a reality as thousands of internet users demanded she lose her internship in the local school district. The amount of mental harm caused to an already diagnosed mentally ill patient is dangerous, as explained by Tom Toronto, president of the Bergen County's United Way, the company that owns Elphick's residence. She has a disorder. She has anxiety. She had a meltdown. Then the world we live in took over, and she became something entirely different than what she actually was. Elphick's lawyers accuse Ukenta of igniting the fight and using her disability for money and fame. They even argued that filming Elphick without her permission violated her right to privacy, all the while forcing her to have a mental breakdown. The internet is now divided, some accusing Ukenta for unnecessarily inciting the hate. What all of this points towards in the end is that incidents that may seem to be simple at a glance may have a complex background. Internet users are quick to label others, and while the words Karen and narcissist are thrown too casually, they could severely affect someone mentally, and could potentially even ruin their lives. Recent reports have shown that Elphick was suffering from bipolar disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, obsessive-compulsive disorder, and borderline personality disorder. She has been hospitalized multiple times for suicide ideation and self-harm. She's been on medication since she was 12 years old, and even suffers from regular seizures and migraines. What's horrifying is if Elphick's meltdown at Victoria's Secret was real, and it's a huge failure from their side. The security must be held accountable for their serious mismanagement and lack of responsibility. Recently, in an interview with the New York Times, Abigail confessed that she regrets her behavior and hopes to reconcile with Ukenta. According to her, due to her mental conditions, she was having a panic attack and wanted to be left alone. Because the video went viral, she lost her job and received multiple death threats, all the while making the situation even worse. The Victoria's Secret Karen case led people to discuss social issues such as racism, privacy, social injustice, and mental health. And while some reacted with toxicity, the power of the internet was successful in maintaining pressure and ensuring justice was rightfully served. Overall, this case remains partly as a cautionary tale about how dangerous the internet can be, and how easy it can be to label someone as a Karen from just a few short videos. On the other hand, it also represents just how much segregation people of color have to deal with. Even today, exploring further perspectives still, it shows just how dangerous the power of the internet is, allowing anyone to become a hero or a villain without the need of facts and objective truths. This case didn't just affect those two women in a posh store, but really all the people who watched all the videos and still follow the case today. And considering this case has dragged on for 2 years, it isn't a leap to say that it will remain in the minds of the public for quite some time. With that, I would like to end this video. What are your thoughts on the whole ordeal? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.